We are live?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we are live and we're going to get right to it. Can you kick it? It looks like I'm in the shadow.
You're not.
Okay, they don't want to see me anyway. They want to see this sexy beast right here. The T to the I to the E. We got to tell him who he is first. I'm supposed to get right to it. Very special day today. Nothing to do about supplements. All to do about mental fortitude. This is Trenell Walker. I actually played football with this guy, and he was so much better than me, it pissed me off. And he has a way cooler story than I do, too, which I'm still pissed off about that, too. He keeps beating me on all fronts. No, great guy. So much I've learned from him, just reconnecting with him after God knows how long. I'm going to let him tell his story. I know Facebook Lives can be tedious, but you guys watch this with your kids tonight. It'll really bring a lot of things to light. It's just a great, great message. So we're going to take it from there. We're going to jump right into it, Trenell. Okay. 14 years old, starting badass on the football team at 5A, Sherman Bearcats, running the ball, toting the note, scoring touchdowns, the whole nine. The injury happens. Freshman. I just can't even, your dream, just tell me in your mind, I know it's been like, what was going through your mind at that very moment when you're just laying there? Just tell me, man.
Honestly, right at the fear. Because all of a sudden I was able to move, but then again, my life changed. I went from making a tackle to not being able to move at all. To the point of feeling like my body going from laying down to curling into a fetal position, which was scary. And that's what was going through my mind. Just fear, uncertainty, and not knowing what was going on.
You probably taken, it was a normal tackle. Something that happened, so you're thinking, no, I'm okay, but something's not right. But I'm just trying to process it as someone who played so many downs of football, like how you know those hits that are so bad versus one like that, but you knew something wasn't.
Yeah, definitely. And I just want to be clear so all the people that are watching, basically what happened is that I was going in, making a blitz for my strong safety position. I was actually going in to make a tackle on the running back, and I had made the tackle on the running back, and I wrapped him up just like they told us in football. Technically tackle from behind, hitting the running back, wrapping him up, and driving him towards the ground. The thing is that my teammate came from the opposite side to assist me, launching himself at the ball and running back. He missed, hitting me at the top of my helmet, crushing the fourth vertebrae, leaving me paralyzed from the neck down. And the reason why I knew something was wrong is because not only could I not move, but it felt like my inside of my body was curling into a fetal position.
The inside of your body, because physically it wasn't, but inside you felt like that.
Exactly. So physically I was on my left side. Internally, it felt like I was going into a fetal position. Wow, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's mind blowing. So, okay. That's in the middle of Bearcat Stadium. We have some footage that's going to be popping up on the video. We can't show it on live. We'll show it later. But, okay, so the hit, that's happening. The ambulance ride, maybe? Like, when did you, or did somebody tell you that it might be bad? Like, when did you come to, like, this realization that, man, something's not right, I'm going to a hospital, everything's like, because you were cognizant, right? You still had.
Yeah, definitely. No, right then and there, I knew something was wrong. And I actually had told my brother, once they had loaded me up in the ambulance, and he asked me, he looked at me, he said, what's going on?
Your brother was playing on the field?
No, he was actually there. He was there at every game because he would come all the way from Fairview A&M.
He played in college, right?
Yes.
He was playing ball, and he would come back and watch you, right?
Yeah, he would come back and watch me. He actually came home from college to come watch me
play that game.
Yes.
And he ran down on the field when the injury happened.
Yes.
And then go back. So what happened?
And then once they had got me loaded up in the ambulance, and he looked down at me and he asked me, he was like, bruh, he was like, what's going on? And I looked at him. So I told him, I can't feel my legs. I think I broke my back.
And he's obviously, he doesn't know either, so he's just riding with you to the. Where's your mom at this point? Up in the stands?
She was up in the stands initially, and then she came. She got in her car. It was so funny. She got in her car, and she came down to the field. My brother was like immediately told her to go to the hospital, and she was so, in shock that I'm grateful that we had a friend, Darren Holland, that was there who actually took her to the hospital. She didn't even know who took her there. She was just so out of it.
No, I mean, I don't even want to act like I could imagine, but I can imagine you're not thinking clearly as a mother at that point.
Right, so.
Okay, how long were you in the hospital?
Well, I was in intensive care for 18 days, and while I was in there, my heart stopped not once, not twice, but 3 times, and my lungs collapsed. The doctor didn't know if I was going to live or die.
Now, I don't know, what from that hit, what made your heart stop?
Well, honestly, because of how high my injury is, it's the 4th vertebrae in my neck, and so how high it is, and just using my diaphragm, it had gotten weak. And so because of all the struggling that I was doing to breathe initially after my injury, it was a struggle on, my heart, and plus the tube they had in my nose at the time to give me oxygen and stuff, it was too small. And I was trying to tell them that, but because they could only read my lips at the time, they wasn't able to understand that. And then one of the nurses or something finally, got the message, and they changed it. And all that struggling caused everything to get weak.
So you could feel like you weren't getting enough oxygen, but you couldn't tell them that you weren't. I didn't even know that. That makes me so claustrophobic and freak out. Like you're sitting there laying there and you can't, and you need more oxygen, and man.
Yeah, I mean, because the way things they have me set up, I'm not exactly sure what was going on. They had to read my lips. And during that time, when I'm talking, I'm panicking. And I'm trying to tell, it's not normal for people to read lips. Usually you have a voice. And them trying to read my lips, it just didn't work. It was,
And it took how many days before they figured that out?
No, it didn't take, I'm not sure how long it took, but once they figured it out, they got it resolved.
After three heart stoppages and your lungs collapsing, they finally figured it out?
No, actually before that. It's just that during that time it caused all that week. So my heart stopped before surgery, during surgery, and 20 minutes after surgery. So yeah, I mean, life ain't been easy. But yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you're in the hospital. I'm imagining you're down in the dump. You're depressed. Who wouldn't be? Tell me. Let's go to the depths. Tell me what's going on in your mind there. It went from anxiety, I'm on the football field, I don't know what's going on, to I'm laying in this hospital bed and now I know something's going on, and I'm this Mr. Athlete. My identity, which I can identify with, is this athlete. And this is just tell me where you went in your head, man.
Well, I mean, I'm going to back up a little bit, because after I got out of the intensive care unit that got me stable, I went to Baylor Institute for Rehabilitation and started learning how to live with the spinal cord injury. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, as athletes, you all know it's all about performance. It's all about what we can do with our bodies. And even as men, it's all about what we can do, how we can provide. And at that time, all that was taken away from me. It was like 1 minute I was able to do these things, the next minute I wasn't able to do anything. Therefore, not only did it take everything out of me as an athlete, but as a man, I'm like, a man is supposed to be doing this, and this with his body. I don't even live up to that no more. So what kind of man am I? What kind of person am I? And therefore, it took me to the point of, what am I here for? Why am I even existing? The dream that I had to retire my mother using my athletic talents is gone. Because I came from a single parent home. And my mom was the breadwinner trying to raise 2 sons and a mother that had not spinal cord, a stroke. So she was paralyzed on the neck gap. So I just wanted to let y'all know, for those that are watching, there's going to come changes in your life that you're not going to know what happened. Sports is the vehicle. Education, whether it is formal education or self-education, is the engine that is going to get you there and beyond. And that's one of the things that I had to realize, but at that time, everything was gone.
The body deteriorates, but the mind never does.
Exactly.
That's exactly why we're here. That's exactly why we're friends, man, and why we're here. I just love it. I love the mental strength. So, Now, I know we've talked before about this. Not only did you cry out to God and thought you heard no answer, you even cried out for anybody else, the devil or whoever else would listen and take this pain away from you, and nobody was listening.
Exactly.
And you felt alone, hollow, empty. How long did that go on for? And then what was the hammer drop one day? Did you wake up, Eureka, I've got this, God laid his hands on me? I mean, what? Just give us that, because that is the transformational moment that is most impactful to me. I want to somehow dialogue that out and figure out what was it that woke up within you that day. Just, man, talk about that amazing thing.
I mean, well, actually, several things happened because I was going through the whole depression and bargaining with God. That's actually, my depression was 2.5 to 3 years. But several things happened along the way. One happened when I was in Baylor, and I was on the ventilator, and they was trying to wean me off the ventilator. I hadn't had any sleep at all. I'm telling you, none. I looked like a zombie. And I remember the respiratory therapist looking at me. And at that time, again, I still couldn't necessarily speak out loud, so she read my lips. And she said, Trenell, she said, are you sleeping? And I was like, no. She was like, why? And I was like, I'm scared. She was like, are you scared that the machine will stop breathing for you? And I was like, yes. And so she was like, all right. She said, I'm going to sit here beside the bed and watch you while you sleep. She did. I was out there like a light. I was sleeping so good. 2 hours later, I woke up. She was gone. So I started doing what I signaled my nurse to bring her back in. She came back in. And I asked her, I was hot as fish grease. I was mad. I was like,
hot as fish grease.
Yeah, I was mad. And I was like, where were you? And she said, I've been gone 2 hours. She said, Trenell, you have a choice. She said, you can either let this machine breathe for you for the rest of your life, or you can take action to get off of it. That was one. So I had to take action. Once I got off there, I was still feeling a little depressed. No, I was a lot depressed. I was still in the hospital. Well, next thing you know, I ended up getting a visitor from this gentleman named Ken. He had a similar injury, but he was from a diving accident. And he told me these words that would change my life, and I hope they change yours as well. He looked me in my eyes and he said, Trenell, this is going to be hard. But like they said in Apollo 13, failure is not an option. Therefore, I realized that, hey, regardless of what this is, it's going to be hard, but I got to keep pressing. I got to keep going. I got to keep making things happen. And the last thing that really, I wouldn't say the last, but one of the most important things that really got me going is that when I got tired of being sick and tired of crying myself to sleep at night because I wasn't able to use the body that was given me to fulfill the dream that I had for my family every time my mom bought a house or a car, she always told me to pray. So after, I ain't gonna lie, I'm being real with y'all, I was pissed off at God. I was mad because I'm like, why did you let this happen to me?
Yep.
So one of the things I did do was pray. And I remember asking Jesus to come into my life and have his way. Then I remember this perfectly. My eyes closed tightly. And I heard a tender voice say, Trenell, you put football before me. I don't want anything put before me. But through this injury, I'm inspire others that if they put me first and use their mind to the fullest, they can do anything. That showed me that my purpose was bigger than playing football. My purpose was to go out there and make a difference in the world. Not only that, but to be the best me that I can possibly be, so that I may be inspire others to be the best person that they can possibly be, regardless of their physical ability or disability. Like my mom always told me, as long as you got your mind, you can do anything.
Absolutely. So, since then, we're going to fast forward a lot, but what all have you gone on to achieve? Did you graduate high school?
Yes, sir.
And keep going. Tell me the rest. I know you got back out there and graduated high school, but talk us through, how did that, because you were gone for a couple years, so you had to come back. So just tell us a little bit about, because I don't really know how that went when you came back as well. 3-4 years later, you re-enroll as a sophomore, or I don't know.
No, honestly, my mom was big on education.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked her, Mom, why are you so big on education? And she said, because I didn't get mine and I didn't want y'all to struggle like I did.
And y'all gotta meet this dude's mom. Ooh, boy, this dude's mom is something else. She is the queen. Go ahead.
Definitely, but
we'll bring her onto the show sometime. She'll cook for us. It won't be keto, but that's okay.
You might leave that just by watching.
But you are drinking keto feed in the morning, though. You told me you hit that keto feed.
That's the first stuff that I found that I cramp my stomach. It's smooth and it's not chalky, so definitely I am sold America.
You got some aminos in the bag there? You drinking some aminos?
Not today.
Not today? Okay.
I don't want to be hyped up like you, and hey, you bring enough energy for the both of us.
Okay, so let's go to the life after, how you get back into school and you start knocking down the world and achieving everything that you've had. Let's get to the good.
Yeah, but honestly, on that part, I was still going to school while I was in Baylor.
Oh, so a teacher would come in like the
hospital.
Nice.
I was still on the ventilator in because my mom was like, hey, we need
your brain still works, boy. Get them studies in. Oh, I love it.
I'm sitting up there on the ventilator, the machine's breathing for me, but I'm still going to school there. And then after I left there, they did homeschool.
Did you stay on pace the whole time? You never like lost a year or anything? No. Man, Mama kept you on pace.
I'm telling you, she had her foot so far up in my butt, I was missing her soul. So, but yeah, she actually, I went to homeschooling, and then after a while, it was like, no, you need to get out of this house. So I went to an alternative school. And then once I got to get caught up, and so my senior year, I went back to high school and graduated and rolled across the stage with my classmates.
So you got this, the whole last year, you went back to Sherman?
Yes.
That's awesome. So that had to feel, at that point at least, maybe things started feeling a little more, I mean, I know they're not normal, but at least it had to, you're around your friends again, social interaction, not a bunch of nurses. Did it feel any better?
Honestly, no.
Man, no. I mean, no.
Because I wasn't them no more. I wasn't able to run around and do that, so I was still, I didn't feel normal.
Yeah.
They was up doing stuff that I wasn't able to do, so I really kept to myself. Again, that depression.
So it was still that's 4 years, you're 18 at that point, so 4 years worth of mental battles constantly.
I'm still battling them now.
Yeah.
I just learned to cope with them better. I didn't have the coping skills back then. And some of you may not have the coping skills right now. But I'm telling you, it's all about personal development, really going out there getting this stuff you need to help you get from where you are to really where you want to be, because the same physical training you do with your body, you got to do it with your mind.
100%. And so many alpha males, so many of these men, about 70% of our audience, they are those workout guys, and they're probably not going to ask for help. They're not going to go, seek some of these things, or, I have a problem, this, that, the other. You understand what it's like to be like that and be Mr. Stud, but then to be stripped down and have to go, that really doesn't matter. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't damn matter how much you bench press. Nobody gives a rip. Nobody cares how many touchdowns you scored when you were 16, 18, or even 22 in college. It's like none of that stuff lasts, but it's so hard for people to figure out. And that's one thing that we're trying to focus on with our page and our coaching group is the mental coaching. It's not just, hey, we do supplements, hey, we work out. I realize that is fickle and that this body deteriorates, but the mind doesn't. So that's why we're here. So let's fast forward to you graduated high school, then you go to college?
Yeah, actually, it was kind of a fluke how I got into the University of North Texas. Well, I said fluke, but it was I say divine purpose now, because I was originally going to go to Grayson County, the local college. Mm-hmm. And then, my cousin at the time knew I was feeling depressed, and she was like, hey, how about you come speak to the class that I'm in college? And she had already talked to her professor. And her professor, Linda Holloway, which I love her to death, she was like, yeah, sure. So it was my first speaking, ever really sharing what I was going through. It was so therapeutic because one of the things that I've learned, not only from my experience, but from the ladies that listen, to really understand the person's perspective, not to fix it, but to validate. That's one of the things when I went to go speak, they were a captive audience just listening to me. And then at the end, they would ask me questions. And that was like my counseling session in and of itself. Because that's all I ever wanted to do was to listen.
And understand, yeah.
Because the only thing you usually hear is, things happen for a reason. Oh, no, I ain't hearing that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if they do, what is the reason? And then after that, they be like, God works in mysterious ways. I'm like, oh, you must know God on a personal level. So why don't you ask him the reason, and then you come back to me. Other than that, don't come to me with that fly stuff. So, but again, just listening. And so after that, I got introduced to another Professor Phil Flores, love him to death. And he heard what I wanted to do with my life. And so he said, if you had the opportunity to come to UNT, would you? And I was like, yes. And, Mama wasn't going to hear it at first. But my brother ended up, he dropped out of college to come help her take care of me. So when I got the opportunity to go back to college, he did too. So he was my assistant.
No way, that's awesome. I didn't know that. So he got to go back to, because he was playing college football, living the dream, and he left that dream to come back home for you, which is a whole story in and of itself. His brother and mom were some amazing people. This dude will tell you, and I'll tell you, he would not be here right now without those two. He's got some rocks in his corner. They are just absolutely amazing people. But he got to go back to college with you? That's fantastic.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing about that is that eventually my brother was living two lives because it was his girlfriend at the time, who was his wife, but he had already had children. And so, I love her to death because she was like, hey, if your brother needs you down there, even though he already had children here in Denison. So he had a life here, but he was also down there, helping me, assisting me, and being my assistant, but also taking care of his family. And his family would come up here and different things like that. So, and again, I took advantage of the opportunity, just like I took advantage of the opportunity to be on freshman. Because that's one of the things I learned. And I like what Eminem says, you have to take advantage of that moment and own it. And that's what I did every time I get an opportunity, just like now. Just like in college, I got an opportunity to go to college. Bam. Got a bachelor's degree in rehabilitation studies.
At Baylor.
At UNT.
North Texas. Sorry, North Texas.
Yeah, UNT.
Yeah, you got
Then the door opened again. Bam, got my master's degree in rehabilitation counseling, as well as I'm a rehabilitation counselor. And they say, bam, I got an opportunity to work here at Angels of Care Pediatric Home Health. And then that opened the door for me to become a Ziegler Legacy Certified Trainer. So I'm able to go out there and be a coach, speaker, and a trainer on building, helping people build winning relationships, goal setting, and personal development.
And that's how you develop the Trenell effect, right?
Yes.
And that's what we want to talk about, right? So go ahead and tell us about the Trenell effect. Obviously, your name, an acronym. Take us through the letters and take us through, floor is yours. Take us through that and let us know what the Trenell effect is all about.
Well, honestly, the Trenell effect are the 7 principles of perseverance and performance that I use that I've actually learned from my mom and brother. And I always like to say the Trenell effect is like my legacy and what I live by, and it will influence you to take action. Proper action leads to satisfaction. The R, resilience. Be resilient because 2 steps back can lead to a great comeback. The E, encourage. Encourage in order to help one flourish. The N is my favorite because it's for never quits. It's impossible to stop a motivated person because he or she will never quit. The E, evaluate. Evaluation can never lead to your destination. The L is for learn. Because when you learn, you earn respect for yourself, others, and you earn money. The last L is for love. Because love is a gift from above. But now I have to ask you a question. What is your effect? What is the Brandon effect? What is the Natalie effect? What is your effect? Because whether you realize it or not, you have an effect that is influencing your life and those around you. You have just experienced the Trenell effect. Let it infect you and move you to take action, be resilient, encourage, never quit, evaluate, learn, and love. Now that is the Trenell effect.
Girl, that was like smooth jazz butter, baby. That voice, I was almost, we're about to date. Damn. Golly, did that not just lull y'all in? Boy, that was some smoothness. Okay, sorry, I digress. Let's talk about this. You, through your certifications, your masters, your Ziegler coaching, you've helped other people find their effect, as you just mentioned. So we're gonna, we'll show some of this, Natalie, I guess we can zoom in on some of them, but tell us how some of these people come to you or you're put in their lives, and tell us kind of how you do this. How do you help them find their effect? What does it look like? Kind of tell us what you do, because this is your profession now. I mean, you're a professional at this, so tell us a little bit about that.
So basically how I was able to come up with this was during one of the Ziegler classes that I took. They gave us a little exercise to do. It said, take your name to find a positive word that goes along with it, which create your acronym. And so I started thinking about it, and I do the same thing with other people, because when you take your name and turn it into an acronym, that shows you your value, and that we all have value, and that's one of the things that I lost whenever I got paralyzed, because all my value was in my physical and not my mental. And Maureen Hill, the R&B singer, said, we've been taught to protect the outer man while the inner man is dying. Therefore, we're so focused on how we look and how we feel on the outside and wearing that mask, masquerading around in the mask, and we're afraid to take off the mask and really look at the person on the inside. Because that's the only thing that's going to last. But not only the mental aspect of it has value, and I learned this from women as well, it's the emotional part that has value, and the emotional connection. Because the physical is going to die, the emotional is going to last. So again, I'm showing their value through their acronym. But I took it a step forward because I wanted them to really know their purpose, really have a legacy. So I had them to turn the second part of it into an affirmation. We all know the importance of affirmations and really motivating ourselves. So I had them to create an affirmation, kind of like to take action. Why? Proper action leads to satisfaction. That why shows me my purpose for the reason why I'm taking action. And I had them to do the same thing to let them know, yes, you have value, but you also have a purpose, which is going to affect your life and those around you. So this allows them to be able to say, hey, there is a reason I'm here. But more importantly, their effect is their legacy. My legacy is teaching people to take action. My legacy is to teach people to be resilient, to evaluate, to learn and love. So when I die, that will be my legacy that will keep going on and on. So when I teach people their effects, they're not realizing it, but I'm teaching them, this is your legacy. This is something not only do you do, but you're passing along to your kids. The people that enter your life. Athletes, hey, we all want to be remembered. We all want to be great, whatever way it is. But how often do time goes on, whatever record you may have had, going to be broken by somebody else. You may be a champion right now, but somebody else is going to do a lot better later. How about leaving a legacy that can teach your children, their friends, the people that that you love in your life, to just leave your legacy so whenever you leave here, people will be able to say, man, he encouraged me to take action when I didn't want to. I felt like giving up, but I decided to be resilient. You know, I felt bad one day, but I needed to encourage myself. Man, it was hard. It was challenging, but I remembered to never quit. Man, the things that I'm going through, man, I didn't know how, but I decided to evaluate. And when I evaluated, I learned from it. And as I learned from it, I ended up loving myself. and loving what I like to do, or able to love others and love God in the process. Legacy.
I think I'm going to go to lunch now and figure out my acronym. I've got some soul searching to do. I wish all of you would go do the same thing. Write a positive acronym about your name. I've never done it either, but I feel inspired to go do that now. Maybe Trenell can write mine so I don't have to do it.
No.
Just kidding. I'm going to do it. Okay, I'll figure it all out. I got a long name though. Brandon. We'll go with B. Everyone calls me B. We're just going to go with B. I can figure that out. Beautiful. Bald and bold, baby. See how quick that was? I got 3 B's. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll post up some clips and some different videos over the next couple of weeks. But what is your website? What are you doing? You got a movie coming out with the Ziegler Network. Where the heck can we find you? Give me all the details.
Oh yeah, definitely. TrenellWalker.com and let you know a little bit more about me, about...
Slight interruption. That was popular. TrenellWalker.com?
Yeah, TrenellWalker.com is so how I can help you, help your team, you know, and all that good stuff. I have a documentary coming out. It's called Walker Beyond Limits.
When's that going to drop?
I'm not sure, honestly.
Sometime this year, though, right? Because I got to see it, and my team did, all of our employees did, and that's going to, sometime mid-year, maybe summer, a little after.
Yeah, it should be on here in April or something like that. But if you call me and book me, go to my website. I can also be reached at Nell, NELL06 at hotmail.com. Hey, you invite me to come out and speak or train, and I'll be able to bring the documentary and give you an exclusive before it even drops. How about that?
Exclusive. All right. Thanks, Trenell. Let's go get some grub. We can talk about